All right. Welcome everyone to the Wild Turtle Week 2025 partner webinar. We're so excited for you guys to join us and learn more about Wild Turtle Week and how you can participate. So we'll do a couple of introductions, give some background on turtles, their importance, and some threats that they're facing. Then we'll tell you more about Wild Turtle Week and how you can participate. So we're going to get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Tessa K. Fritz. I was a member of the Wild Turtle Week team back in 2024, and I am co-leading the event this year with my colleague Dimitri. We met in the Galapagos where we took our one of our master's classes together, and we learned that we both loved turtles, and we thought that it would be a great way to collaborate again and lead this week together. I am currently working at the National Center for Ecological Analysis and Synthesis as the lead science communicator. I love getting people excited about science, especially anything that has to do with turtles. My favorite turtle is the gopher tortoise. I had the opportunity to work with them when I spent some time in Florida. There are some really special animals, and we're actually going to talk a little bit more about them later in the presentation. And Dimitri, why don't you go?
Yeah, for sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Dimitri Rucker, and I am new to the Wild Turtle Week team this year. I am a senior environmental specialist with Maryland Environmental Service right outside of Baltimore. One of my favorite species is the North American wood turtle. I had the opportunity to be a part of field surveys for them in my former role with U.S. Fish and Wildlife, and now they have a place near and dear to my heart, especially just how they move in November and December when they come in and out of brumation on a nice day. So they really just, fascinated me, and I love just what they are. And I love turtles. So all turtles are my favorite, but the wood turtle, special shout out to them. And I'm happy to be here with you all today. I'm happy to be here to collaborate with Tesla. We met in grad school on our trip to Galapagos, where we truly shared our passion for turtles and tortoises. And I'm happy to be here today and presenting this webinar with her to you all. So let's get started.
Awesome. So we're going to start with some turtle trivia. So I want you to give your best guess as to which country has the most turtle diversity. So is it A, Mexico, B, Brazil, C, the US, or D, Colombia? Just think for a little bit and we'll reveal the answer. It is the US. So we have 57 different kinds of turtles located in the US. These are just some of the freshwater turtles that you can find here. A lot of people aren't super familiar with freshwater turtles or terrestrial turtles and tortoises. So it's really special just to, share with people about the diversity that we have here and just, worldwide. And we're going to actually learn more about turtles, their background, and how many there are out there with Dimitri.
Yeah, so let's start with the basics. What are turtles? So turtles are reptiles characterized by having a hard protective shell covering their bodies. They belong to the order Testudines, which means derived from the Latin word for shell. It is believed that their shell evolved mainly from their ribs. They are cold-blooded, breathe air, and lay eggs like other reptiles, and turtles have been around for millions of years and can be found in various aquatic and semi-aquatic environments, with some species also inhabiting land. So turtles can be split into two groups, Cryptodyra and Pleurodyra. Cryptodyra, the Greek word literally meaning hidden neck, are a suborder of Testudines that include most living turtles and tortoises. Cryptodyra is commonly called the hidden neck turtle or inside neck turtle, and they differ from Pleurodyra, which literally translates to side neck turtle, and they fold their neck sideways along their body under the shell's marginals. So as you can see with these illustrations here, the Cryptodyra literally tuck their necks inside to their shell, and the Pleurodyra retract their neck, and it kind of leads sideways to where they're hiding sideways, like you can see on the right here with this side neck turtle. And there are lots of turtles in the world. With these animals being so widespread around the world, there are many different kinds of turtles and tortoises, and they come in all different shapes and sizes, you can see here. And they have so many different adaptations for so many different environments they inhabit. As you can see, for the massive sea turtles, they have limbs that are modified to resemble paddles, and they can and do travel across an entire ocean, but have great difficulty hauling themselves up on an ocean beach to dig a nest. And at the opposite end of the spectrum are the land tortoises, which have club-like feet that resemble those possessed by elephants, while most freshwater turtles, including the box turtle, have limbs modified to allow for both swimming and walking. So turtles have adapted themselves to many different environments, and there are currently 350 different species of turtles. And they can be found on all different continents except Antarctica. And out of those 350 species, 20% are sea turtles, and the other 80% is made up of freshwater and terrestrial sea turtles. And interesting enough, not much attention is brought to freshwater and terrestrial turtles compared to sea turtle conservation efforts. And according to the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, 187 species of turtle are considered threatened, which means the species is likely to become endangered within the foreseeable future. 127 species of turtle are listed as endangered, which is when a species faces a high risk of extinction in the wild, and critically endangered, which is when a species faces an extremely high risk of extinction. So endangered species are nearing extinction, while critically endangered species are in a state of dire peril with the possibility of going extinct soon. And Tessa will move this meeting along forward, telling us more about why we should care about turtles.
Awesome, thank you. So now that we're clear on what turtles are, I'm going to talk a little bit more about why turtles. Why are they important? Why are they crucial for our ecosystems? Besides being adorable and wonderful to observe and be around, they serve for a bunch of different really important ecological roles in their ecosystems. So they will play roles as predators and prey in the food web. So as hatchlings and juveniles, they are prey to crabs, birds, small mammals. I've heard them be described as the popcorn of the natural world, which isn't, the best thing to hear, but it is good because, turtles will have a lot of hatchlings, which will mean that, they can be a food source. However, if they once they get past that and not get eaten and get to a certain size, they're much less likely to be predated on, even though some adult turtles and tortoises can be prey items. But as they get larger, they will be predators for invertebrates, small animals. They love to eat plants. They also are scavengers. They'll eat dying plants or uh, dead animals and things like that. So they play a role in balancing ecosystems as well, helping with population regulation. And so they have really diverse diets. So some turtles are herbivores, meaning that they only eat like plants. Some are carnivores, only eating meat. Some are omnivores, meaning they eat both. And a lot of turtles and tortoises are specialized eaters, meaning that they specialize in eating certain organisms and help those populations stay regulated, like jellyfish here with sea turtles. And a lot of tortoises and turtles love to eat plants, which helps with seed dispersing. So turtles are great seed dispersers. Though they move slowly around, they do move a lot, and they poop a lot. So it helps with certain species of plants spreading their seeds. And so in some cases, there's like a very specific relationship between a plant and a turtle or tortoise, like for example, with the eastern box turtle, they're the main seed disperser for the May apple. So that plant relies very heavily on eastern box turtles to help germinate, meaning to help that plant to start to grow. And so the likelihood of a mayapple growing and reaching maturity increases if it goes through the digestive tract of an eastern box turtle. There's layering around seeds, and so that is the case for other plants as well, as far as having a higher chance of growing if it goes through the tract of a turtle's digestive tract. So they help with that. They really highly impact their habitats as seed dispersers, but also as ecosystem engineers. And so, ecosystem engineers are animals that have a profound impact on their habitat by modifying it in some way with their behaviors and adaptations, and to the point where they create habitat for other organisms. So the gopher tortoise here, which I mentioned earlier, is one of my absolute favorites because they burrow like some tortoises do, and they create underground systems that they'll actually share with other animals. So they don't mind having roommates. They Gopher tortoises have been observed sharing their burrows with over 300 different kinds of animals, which is essential for fire season in Florida and in general, just providing habitat for other animals. The Galapagos tortoise, shown on here as well, provides is an ecosystem engineer, and that they migrate. They're one of the larger animals found in the Galapagos, and they migrate and they'll barrel through vegetation. Some of them are very dome shaped, and they will create space for more plants to grow by kind of making paths through vegetation. And they also allow room for other animals to move around. So they're really essential for, not only, creating habitat, dispersing seeds, helping with regulating populations. They help with cycling nutrients throughout their ecosystems as well. And so what that means is nutrients will be absorbed and used by an animal or an organism and then given back to the ecosystem through waste, through dying, things like that. And so, like I said, tortoises and turtles poop a lot. So they help with the cycling of nutrients in that way. They also have very diverse diets. So they help, cycling nutrients like that. And they also, a lot of them are semi-aquatic. So they will help cycle nutrients from terrestrial environments to aquatic environments. And sea turtles, they will travel great distances in the ocean, helping with cycling nutrients. So they're essential for their ecosystems and the resilience of their ecosystems. But like most things are, there are threats to these animals, primarily from humans, and Dimitri is going to walk us through some of those now.
Let's talk about the threats to turtles, starting with habitat loss and degradation. So one of the biggest threats to turtles and animals everywhere is habitat loss and degradation. And in relation to turtles, habitat loss can impact a lot of things, starting with foraging, available nesting area, and most importantly, a turtle or tortoise's overall chances of survival. So habitat loss and degradation can come in many forms, such as deforestation, wetland drainage, habitat fragmentation, beach development for sea turtles, urbanization, and road construction, which further fragments their habitats and increases the risk of another threat that is, very uh, very likely for turtles, which is road mortality. And due to roads and the habitat fragmentation they cause, turtles fall victim to car strikes. Turtles will often be seen crossing roads, especially in the springtime, to find a mate, suitable nesting habitat, or crossing over to find a body of water. Turtles will be seen on roads as well after a heavy rain, which we can see here on the left with our snapping turtle crossing the road after a heavy rain. And we can see right here on a Blanding's turtle crossing the road on the right, most likely crossing for a body of water. And our next threat to our shelved friends are invasive species. Invasive species can negatively impact turtles through competition for resources, predation, and disease transmission. For example, red-eared sliders, like the one on the left, can outcompete native turtles for food, basking sites, and nesting areas. Additionally, invasive species like rats can prey on turtle eggs and hatchlings, while some invasive plants can alter habitats. Another threat to turtles everywhere is pollution, and it can come in many different forms, like physical pollution, as you can see here, like on the left with the sea turtle in the bag, and it comes in the form of trash and other debris. But we also have chemical pollution, and an example of that is how endocrine disruption chemicals, EDCs, can affect the turtle's natural hormones, and that can lead to a lot of health and reproduction problems. And the last threat that I will discuss is the illegal turtle trade. The illegal poaching and trade of wild turtles and tortoises is a huge problem globally, as turtles are sought after for their shells, meat, for medical reasons, and even for the pet trade. So, to address this threat, the Collaborative to Combat the Illegal Turtle Trade in Turtles, abbreviated to CCITT, was formed in 2018 with the mission of advancing efforts to better understand, prevent, and eliminate the illegal collection and trade of North America's native turtles. The CCITT strives to build a cross-disciplinary and multi-sectoral network of conservation professionals dedicated to addressing the challenges that stem from illegal collection and trade. Their membership is composed of wildlife law enforcement, biologists, legal experts, social scientists, communication experts, and other professionals.
Awesome. So, because of the illegal turtle trade, PARC, which is an organization partners in amphibian and reptile conservation that is dedicated to foraging proactive partnerships to conserve amphibians, reptiles, in the places that they live. So, this organization works with all different kinds of agencies, groups of people, just individuals that are just passionate about conserving these kinds of animals. And PARC worked alongside other organizations to help form Wild Turtle Week, actually because of the turtle trade, in an effort to keep turtles wild, which is why it's Wild Turtle Week. So Wild Turtle Week was, like I said, created with PARC as well as U.S. Fish and Wildlife and Association of Fish and Wildlife Agencies. So Wild Turtle Week was created in 2022 as a result, like I said, of the illegal turtle trade and in general just to elevate turtles and their conservation. A lot of conservation efforts and just the general public's knowledge of sea turtles is fairly high. And, sea turtles are definitely part of Wild Turtle Week, and we love to celebrate them and promote their conservation. But there is just an imbalance as far as the amount of attention and engagement sea turtles have as compared to all of the other kinds of turtles that are out there. So Wild Turtle Week was shifted to be in June in relation to World Turtle Day. So getting people excited about turtles and tortoises and gear up for the day. And in 2025, it will be held from June 9th to June 13th this year. So we are really excited to have you join us on this webinar so we can elevate turtles and their conservation together for Wild Turtle Week 2025. And so Wild Turtle Week primarily is an initiative that is a social media campaign. And so why we reach out to partners like you is because we want everyone to be posting about Wild Turtle Week, sharing content, in all different kinds of ways, highlighting turtles. And we actually have daily themes for each day of the week that touch on, an important aspect of turtles and their conservation that Dimitri will touch on now.
Yeah, so the themes for Wild Turtle Week are as follows, starting with Monday, Turtly Awesome, and it's Why Turtles Are Special. And Tuesday, our turtles need our help and threats turtles face. And that's going to go over more of like what I said earlier with the threats, highlighting what we can do for them and what we can do to help turtles facing those threats. Wednesday is Every Turtle Counts. Turtle populations can't afford extra losses. And this is going to go more into the sexual maturation and like how long it takes for turtles to reach sexual maturation and why it's important to keep turtles wild and why even just having one turtle lost from a population can have a heavy impact on the survival of the rest of the population in that area. Thursday, turtle power. Turtles play important roles in their ecosystems, and this is going to go over more of what Tessa said earlier of why turtles are important and what they do in their ecosystem as engineers, as seed dispersal units, and also just as indicator species. And the last day in Wild Turtle Week, we'll wrap up with Be a Good Turtle Neighbor. Everyone can play a role in helping turtles. And this is going to go over things like what to do if you find a turtle on the road, putting it in the direction that it was headed, and also other things that we can do in our everyday life to keep turtles wild and to help them thrive.
Awesome. So, thank you for sharing the themes, Dimitri. So, how you can participate in Wild Turtle Week, like I said, is posting on your social media channels, and we're here to help you. So, in 2024 and just throughout the past few years of Wild Turtle Week, the committees that have come together for Wild Turtle Week have developed a lot of content for each day of the week to celebrate turtles, as well as like graphics and things like that. So you can actually scan the QR code here to access our social media toolkit for Wild Turtle Week. And so on that document, you'll find a lot of different kinds of content that you can use for your social media channels and also offline as well, just to engage people in turtle conservation. And so one of those are going to be our 50 states of turtles. So this was an interactive map that we made last year where each state has a highlighted native turtle to that area so people can learn and get excited about the native turtles in their backyards. And you'll notice that there are these adorable little turtle graphics found throughout this presentation that were made for the 50 States of Turtles by Creatures Inc. So be sure to follow her on Instagram and tag her if you use some of her graphics if you can. And yeah, those are also free to use for Wild Turtle Week. Another thing that you can do is post about taking a turtle protector pledge, which is really good for, every turtle counts or be a good turtle neighbor, just making people have more of a call to action for Wild Turtle Week. Another interactive you'll find is our Why I Celebrate Turtles, which is a coloring page template that people can use and people can write, draw about why they love turtles and why they want to celebrate them. A template that was also made by Creatures Inc. Another really important way to participate in Wild Turtle Week is using your hashtags for all of your posts. So we have a couple of hashtags that are also found in the social media toolkit. Wild Turtle Week, Celebrate Turtles, Keep Wild Turtles Wild, which is, why Wild Turtle Week was created. Every turtle counts. And then just, other hashtags with the daily themes really help us track the impact of Wild Turtle Week. So it would be great if you could use those. And then there's other ways to participate in Wild Turtle Week offline. So I will be partnering with a local trivia group in Santa Barbara and the Turtle Conservancy to host a turtle trivia night. And so once we develop trivia questions for that will be shared on the social media toolkit. If you want to host your own turtle trivia night, iNaturalist is also a really great way to get engaged with the natural world and turtles. By hosting a bio blitz or a nature walk. I'm also going to be sharing a webinar about iNaturalist and how to host a bio blitz responsibly on the social media toolkit. We're also going to update graphics for 2025 for promoting the event. And yeah, we're just super excited that you guys are interested in Wild Turtle Week. Again, you can scan the QR code for the social media toolkit. Wild Turtle Week is going to be from June 9th to June 13th this year. And please reach out to me or Dimitri with any questions or if you need any additional support for, your plans for Wild Turtle Week. Our emails are up here. Yeah, so feel free to reach out to us and ask any questions. And thank you so much for your interest in Wild Turtle Week and partnering with us. And it's going to be an awesome week celebrating turtles. And yeah, thanks so much.